anyways, it is currently almost 5 o'clock and I just wanted to kind of sit down and play with some makeup and do like a chit chat, get ready with me type of situation, even though clearly I'm not going anywhere, which has been the theme of everyone's life for the past almost year. Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started. I had thought about kind of touching base on, I guess, like kind of how to find motivation or how to become motivated during this time, like during, you know, being stuck in quarantine. And I can't tell you like there's some magic answer that works for everybody. Obviously there isn't, and we are all going through very different things. Some of us may have lost our jobs, some of us may have lost loved ones, some of us may have lost our homes, some of us may not have lost any of that, but we are still struggling. Now, I want to be very transparent in saying that I was lucky and blessed enough to keep my job during the pandemic. I've been very lucky this quarantine, and I recognize that. Now, with that being said, have I still been struggling? Yeah. Even though there are people that are doing worse than you, you are still allowed to feel upset. You're still allowed to complain if need be. You're still allowed to go through and process those emotions. So for a while during quarantine, especially since I'm working from home, I wouldn't even cook. I would order either DoorDash or I would order frozen meals from Instacart. Didn't go out to the grocery store because I just couldn't be bothered. Just like day in and day out, all I would do was sit around and watch Netflix. Sometimes I would eat, sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes I'd just eat once a day. Sometimes I'd only eat hot Cheetos and not an actual meal. And that's just kind of how I was getting through everything. And I told myself, you know what? This is fine. You could be doing so much worse. And honestly, it took me a long time to get tired of doing my same routine. Like, I was content in that for a long time. Like, I knew, like, in my head, hey, you know, maybe you might want to switch it up, but there was no real desire to do so until maybe about a month and a half ago. So that was kind of like the little inkling that I had. Now, mind you, that was like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. And I still stayed in that same rut, not doing anything, for a while after that. And to be honest, I'm still kind of there. So like I said, it's not like a one size fits all type of situation. But if you're someone who's like me, for example, like I'm not a morning person, I can wake up early if I need to, but it's not something that I'll go out of my way to do every morning. I'm not someone who likes working out. I hate it. I like how I feel after I'm done at the gym, but getting to that process, like getting there, no, I can't. So if you're someone like me, then here's some general tips, some things that helped me, some very realistic tips. I've just been taking like random little baby steps every day. So for example, I am not someone who typically makes my bed in the morning. I don't see the point. I'm getting right back in it, so to me, it's done. But what that would do, it would allow me to stay in bed all day. So I live with roommates, so my room is basically where that's my space. And while I have 2 desks in my room, if my bed is unmade, that is an invitation for me to literally lay in bed all day. And when I lay in bed all day, all I want to do is watch Netflix. So that's all that I would do. So I started making my bed. Some days I still go without making it, but for the most part, I try to make it every day. That's what I know will kind of guarantee that I get off my butt and do something. All right, another thing that I do is I try to drink a decent amount of water in the morning. Now, does it work all the time? No, of course not. And the reason I do this is because if I drink enough water, then that means eventually I'm gonna have to go fill up my water bottle, which means that I'm gonna have to get up, I'm gonna have to get out of my room, I'm gonna have to go downstairs and fill up my water bottle. typically, if I go downstairs to fill up my water bottle, one of my roommates is down there and we'll like have conversation. And sometimes you need conversation. Another thing that is really just a habit for me at this point, like, you know, I take my vitamins every morning. I make it easy for myself. They are right next to my bed. They're on my nightstand. So typically not first thing in the morning. I'd be lying if I said it was first thing in the morning. But I do try to make sure that I am taking my vitamins. At least if I'm not getting any vitamin D from the sun outside, I can pick them, or I can get it from my supplements inside. So another thing that I'm still kind of not very good with is washing my face. Now my schedule is pretty odd. So I work a graveyard shift. I work 4 days a week. It's not a regular like day and night type of schedule. So kind of take that with a grain of salt. So yeah, washing my face is one thing that I try to get myself to do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, and next thing is kind of like play to your strengths. And what I say, or what I mean when I say that is, for example, like me, I am not a huge fan of working out, as I said. So am I gonna set a goal for myself to go run 3 miles every morning? No, I'm not. Because 1, I'm not gonna do it. And then 2, when I don't do it, that'll just be an excuse for me to like get down on myself and feel bad about myself about how I, you know, never meet my goals. So for example, if you're a person who likes making lists, like you're a list person, give yourself like 1 to 2 things to do a day and give yourself a little checkbox so that you can check it off. And that'll be your motivation. I know there's some people who love to just check things off of boxes, and that's how they feel that they've gotten stuff done. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. And then this next tip, which I really like, I can't take credit for it though. It wasn't me. But basically, I was talking to one of my best friends the other day, and she had been talking to one of her friends, and her friend had basically told her, instead of saying, like, let's say you have a to-do list, you're like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Instead of saying I need to and I have to, she said, switch the language to I want to. So instead of saying, you know, oh, well, I have to go on a walk because I told myself that I was going to, you know, be more active or whatever else. Instead of saying that, say, okay, well, I want to go on a walk because, you know, it's good for my body and I want to start, you know, trying to work on my heart health or whatever else. So see if you can switch up the language. So instead of telling your brain, I have to do something, therefore automatically making it a chore, remind your brain that you want to do this and see if you can come up with a reason as to why you want it. Something that's going to keep you, you know, inspired and all that jazz. Now, my friend said that that worked for her. I have yet to try it, so I don't know. But if one of you tries it, or if that's something that you've already kind of like been implementing for yourself, let me know how it works out for you. So far, I haven't run into the problem of like not wanting to do something because I haven't switched the language up. Another thing that I think could be somewhat helpful, and this is something that I kind of just gotten into the habit of doing, and I'm still not all the way there yet, but create an actual schedule for yourself. Whether it's like on your days off or for the little bit of time that you have in between, whether it's like mommy duties or household duties or whatever that it is that you're doing, make a schedule for your time. I'm one of the people that I will procrastinate. I won't do anything. And I found that having a schedule to stick to that I've set out, like maybe the night before or even a few days in advance. I like to do mine a few days in advance, that actually have like timestamps of, okay, so at this time I'm gonna do this. At 3 o'clock I'm gonna sit down and film, and I'm gonna film for 2 hours. It's like a schedule, it's like a routine, it's like school or like work. Makes it that much more likely that I'm going to stick to it. Now, once again, keep in mind, like, no one's perfect. I'm not either. Sometimes that doesn't work for me. And sometimes I just have days that are off, and I just kind of have to take that day by day and say, okay, well, you know what? I didn't get to it today, but tomorrow is something new. Tomorrow I can do it. Tomorrow I'm going to do it. And that brings me to my next little like tip, is be gentle with yourself. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. It's fine. If you want to get something accomplished one day and you don't, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. At that point, if it's just something that you wanted to get accomplished that day, there's an arbitrary deadline. Like, you made that up. You made the deadline up. So nothing's going to happen to you if you don't get it done on that exact day. All right, and just know that you are not alone. You're not the only one going through this. There are people all around the world going through this, except for Australia and New Zealand, because they're done with the virus. So must be nice. And last but not least, if you're able to, see if you can find like a friend or someone who can keep you accountable. That's been my biggest thing, because if I'm accountable to no one but myself, best believe I'm not gonna do it. As awful as that sounds, as awful and as unmotivated and as lazy as that sounds, that's the type of person that I am. I have accepted that about myself. And so I find myself trying to come up with ways to combat that so that I can still be great. All right, y'all, so that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat getting ready with me. Let me know if you want to see more of these. Voiceovers are nice, but I prefer doing stuff like this, so keep me posted. Let me know what you guys are doing to stay motivated. Did you pick up any hobbies, anything like that? But yeah, thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. Stay safe and drink water.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a